He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're
But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Where they speak in their own tongue, and then we have narration.
Like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the Unity fell apart. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life.
Like Breath of the Wild.
He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
Flashback. Way back in the long ago, I was a small, tiny little baby child. Look how tiny I am in comparison to everything else.
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village.
We're gonna be a good boy.
Child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came.
Why are you Elvis or a tunnel snake?
The potato people.
Is it because tunnel snakes rule?
The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer.
So this is like Kung Fu Redwall, and I'm into it.
You should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
It's a little different than that, because with the bio and the mutant part, and with the environmental messaging, but it's kind of like Redwall, because anthropomorphized animals. So you have to be careful of the water down there. You can only swim in shallow water. Eventually, you can swim in deep water, but you gotta be careful about it. But yeah, you shouldn't, because deep water drains your ki energy, and if you drain it completely, it's bad.
You should be proud.
'Cause then
they
you
don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy.
Yeah, I got one. Get back here, you little bitch. No, potato people, go, don't leave.
He's grateful. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
But yeah, it's kind of it's an interesting way to deal with cost cutting, because these guys are a small studio out of Poland, Sweden, something like that. They're from the EU. So they're a little tiny thing, and this is published by THQ Nordic. Also a tiny publisher, so they didn't have a ton of money to give them, I assume. They probably just published it, meaning that they, advertised it to people, and the advertising for this game has been strong. Like they've been advertising it every freaking where, which is why I resisted it at first, because I'm like, if they're advertising it this hard, it's probably bad. So far, it's not bad, but a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, this is totally messed up," and it's like, I don't think so.
With the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our villages.
But yeah, having one person voice all the characters through narration is interesting.
One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us.
So this is the same character that we just met in the present. He's called Out of Date then, but now he's called Best Before. Something about an expiration date. It's weird.
The old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain.
I don't know, if it gave you 40 years, is it really in vain?
The end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second coming, and our lineage.
It made people like animals.
His
when all
friend
the people
Gizmo
left.
is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route.
And then I bet you a
The
monster
road
comes out of the
ahead won't
life
be
tree
easy,
itself.
but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg.
Huh.
Regardless, you'll meet again once
They-
you've played
I was
your
wondering
part
why
in
they
the
had
crime
dumb
lore
names.
and the
It's
situation
because
with the World Eaters.
that's on purpose. Here's a net again. Yeah. We're gonna go beat things. And people.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.
Alrighty.
Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help,
Don't we
it
get
can't
another
endure the
title
environmental
thing
change
here?
and assault from the World Eaters.
Yep. Title card. An hour in.
A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged.
Time to pee on the signpost. And that's how we
Let's
unlock
see.
it for fast travel, because we peed on it, so now it's ours. It looks like a shark.
That must
A
be the
shark like a
World
echidna
Eater
or
that
something.
chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down.
Because it has 3
The
heads, you
World
see.
Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake.
That's a tiny, tiny village. There's only like 4 buildings.
Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
You can do stuff in dialogue that
He worries
affects
there
your
won't be much
aura.
left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart.
So in my other game, I've kind of taken the dark path. So we're going to be taking the light path here. And then I can tell you the
he needs help
differences.
and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
Kabam. Whoa. Side point. It gives us something so that we can do stuff.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor.
But then there's there's
Regardless
the
of who you choose, it won't
the
be
Jagni
easy,
tribe?
as the conflict
Jagni?
between the
Jagni,
tribes is
that's it.
worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same.
And then here's the bad
The
guys.
Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
So what I'm trying to do is I joined the Jagni
Someone needs to
in
break
the other
stalemate
playthrough,
and shift the balance of
and
power to either
what I'm trying to do
Jagni's
is
or Myriad's
have
side.
them conquer all the other tribes, but then I still kill the World Eaters, so they'll
He
probably be
believes the
pissed with
tribe
me.
Sifu's, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
But with this
Myriad
one, we're
is
probably going to
convinced
join
that
Myriad.
Defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rivalry with the Jagni tribe. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with
Tribe
the World
war.
Eaters.
Quest tracking. We're going to go to the Myriad tribe. Now we're going to go to mutations, psi powers, and we're going to pick Blink, because Blink is freaking awesome. It's literally a teleport.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?
We're going to go with the tunnel. I went over the highway last time. But Blink. You can do it in the air. That's awesome.
It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Get out of here.
There. See, these are the Jagni guys. They're samurai. I think the Myriad tribe look like Mongols, maybe? But Mongols didn't have boomerangs, so I don't know. Is that their weapon? Is their weapon the boomerang? Because every tribe has their own weapon. Because they're all former disciples of the main character's
This
mom.
area was beautiful before the tribe
And
war began.
so they all
Look at it
had
now. It's a war zone.
a big, they all had a discipline and a specific weapon. So the Jagni have the staff, which is pretty cool. You can actually do a cool helicopter move and kind of glide, which is fun.
That's the Myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or
I don't know, are they supposed to be
You
Indian?
should head up there. That way you'll know.
They might. See, it's mine
Let's
now,
see.
so I can fast travel.
It's a beaten
Whoa.
path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. Says goodbye to you.
What?
Says they're cautious of non-allies. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very interested in meeting you.
Sifu. Hello.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace.
And they're gonna kill anyone who screws up the peace.
The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up.
Bulldozer
The news
Icy.
of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side? The wasteland you came from? He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
Yeah, their
There
thing
were
is the
6
boomerang.
of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war.
Whoa.
The Sifu says it's time to
Look,
set
it's
the
Godzilla
past
on the
aside,
back wall.
at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow.
Join.
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to unite the tribes and take control of their destiny. The tribes need a firm hand guiding them into the future.
Kablams. Allied with the trash panda.
Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
Okay, we can do that.
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. You were all part of the same tribe once, but without your Muma there as a guide, the disciples turned on each other and formed their own tribes. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of
the only way that we can have unity is conquest.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong, and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember.
Yeah. I'm in alliance now. Let's try and find the market. Oh, I just jumped out of the entire thing, didn't I? I did, but I can jump back in. Oh, come on. There it is.
The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Says you should take it easy.
Market. I want to see if we can buy some stuff. Well, this is no market. This is obviously a stable for crazy monsters that we ride. Gun merchant.
Says you'll get a special price and a wrap-up on the double.
Show me what you got.
Says you came to the right place. They only stock products of the finest quality.
How finest is the quality? Base types. That's nice. Automatic rifle. What I really want is I want a big old rifle. I can sell this.
Found a good home for your junk.
Still not enough for any of this. I don't think I can even craft my current gun anyway.
Well spent.